after the police rounded up all of the suspects. It's safe to say that most of the terrorist cells in Indonesia have been mapped out by the Detachment 88, the police special forces for counterterrorism. So
intelligence-based operation. Intelligence-based operation. That is to say, most of them wipe out because of our Indonesian armed force or police intelligence-based operation.
Yeah. Yes. So they have surveillance. They have a surveillance operation going on for every cell that they have already mapped out. But here's the problem: surveillance operation is very hard to do for one subject. One subject can be a cell of 2 or 3 persons, or can be one. So it's a subject. One subject surveillance of 24-hour surveillance require man resources of 20 to 25 officers, and Indonesian police is simply stressed out. So many of the cells that already mapped out are actually not under surveillance because of lack of resources. I think that the entire forces, I think that the forces, the security forces, the armed forces, they have to work together, better in order to cover all the terrorist cells. But at the moment, it's just impossible to do surveillance on all of them. Indonesia, yeah. Say again, sorry?
Yeah, go on. Very good.
Yeah, I think another alternative is for the executive order from the president to conduct targeted arrest. So the targeted arrest is already outlined in the law number 5 2018, saying that they're not even suspects, because in Indonesia, suspect is somebody whom the police already has evidence for. So these individuals, the police don't have evidence on them, but they can arrest them for the period of 14 days. So
but that's very good.
It has to be also ordered by the president. So this is the problem. The president cannot order something like this all the time, because the country will be on edge. Like people will be very, the people will feel actually probably insecure because of the too many arrests going on. So whenever the nation is about to face international events like Asian Games last year, I think, then arrests like this will be conducted. So last year, I think we had a huge amount, like 700 arrests in 1 year. So yeah.
Yes, absolutely. So yes, yeah. I'm very satisfied with your first question's answer. And the second question, there has been a serious terrorist attack in Indonesia for the last 3 years. Most of them are, we can say, were unplanned lone wolf operations. So, and most of attackers were influenced by propaganda of extremist organization. Not necessarily they are the member of IS or Al Qaeda, or maybe certain kind of a JAD or something like that. But can you explain something like that? How do you evaluate the penetration of IS in Indonesia through the soft power, not necessarily the hard power. Okay, so
yes.
its impact on Indonesia's security situation. Thank you, Abdullah.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Zhu. So the impact of ISIS in Indonesia is actually pretty deep. The presence of ISIS had already appeared back in 2011. So this is interesting. In 2010, Indonesian government, the police forces, killed a very important player in Indonesian jihadism. He's called Dul Matin. So Dul Matin is killed, and Dul Matin is Al-Qaeda chapter in Indonesia. So that guy is dead. But then soon after Dul Matin is dead, the forces that are left behind, the jihadist forces that are left behind, are showing their support for ISIS. Yeah. So back in, I think since 2014, we have already seen signs of support from jihadists in Indonesia towards ISIS. So the impact of ISIS is actually pretty simple. The existing forces, existing resources, human resources in Indonesia are now exploited by ISIS, including Abu Bakar Bashir. So you probably know him already. Abu Bakar Bashir is the foremost cleric. He's now dying already. He's about to die probably. He's very old. He was born in 1936. And but Abu Bakar Bashir already pledged allegiance to ISIS. So it's interesting. I think the impact of ISIS really is it used the existing human resources of jihadists in Indonesia for its movement. However, another faction of jihadists in Indonesia is those who are loyal to Al-Qaeda. So this is group like Jemaah Islamiyah. Jemaah Islamiyah is still loyal to Al-Qaeda, while Jemaah Ansarud Daulah, JAD, is more loyal to ISIS. Now within this JAD movement, Jemaah Ansarud Daulah, we see factions of different militant organizations, including the Islamic Defenders Front. So probably you hear this news from Indonesia as well. We call this.
That is to say, JI have both links with Al Qaeda as well as ISIL, right?
Yeah. Yes. So the impact is actually factionalization of jihadists in Indonesia. But all of them, they conduct attack, but most of the attacks have failed actually. So I think out of say 10 attempts of attack, 2 are successful. So only 2 are successful, and out of these successful attacks, it can be that the one that who are terminated is the perpetrators themselves. So in terms of professionality, in conducting attacks, they're not really good at it. I think it's it's a blessing in disguise, but there are many of them. There are many groups, small groups. So that's the kind of trouble that we encounter. Also, the groups are getting better at fundraising. So countering financing of terrorism is problematic.